Hello guys, so it is that time. I have now had the Honor Magic V3 for a whole month. And you're going to want to stay to the very end of this because there's one bit of information I'm going to give you which is going to blow your mind when I tell you it. So, what's it like having the Honor Magic V3? Um, I'll be honest with you, it's brilliant. This is such a good phone. I haven't had a single problem at all in any way using this phone. All the apps work perfectly fine. The signal is brilliant. The call quality is fantastic due to the aerials and built in. The screen, I will spend 90, I spend about 90% of my time with the phone in the candy bar format rather than it being folded out. But that's because I'm so used to a candy bar format. Also, I do worry, as it's a foldable, will constant use of the folding screen, will that damage it in the long run? I'm not sure, but there are times where I do use a folding screen and it's really good. I'll put it like this. I was talking to a friend at work and worrying about new mobile phones because they're wanting to get a new one. So I said, "Oh, have a look at mine." So I passed them the Honor Magic V3, and they had a look and like, "Oh yeah, no, that's really nice. It's a really really good phone." Um, they had no idea it was a foldable until I showed them it, and it blew them away. Like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that's a foldable phone." They had no idea. They were blown away that this then changes into a foldable. Um, the good things about this, the thumbprint scanner is just on the button, just here, and I have my middle finger and this finger set so that when I touch it, it unlocks, and when I do it with the other finger, it unlocks, and it's very rare it ever falters. I don't think it's ever really had a problem. I think every time, after every 60 times you've unlocked the phone, you have to put your pin in it as a security device, and that's quite a common feature. The volume controls are really good. The speaker quality is brilliant. It'd be nice if it was just a fraction louder with a little bit more bass, but they're perfectly fine. I don't have any issues with these at all. I've just had a device that goes in my car. I've got a lovely car, but it's a 2007 model, so the radio hasn't got Bluetooth. And I've just got a device that plugs in the car, and it transmits an FM signal. The radio in the car picks it up, and now I can listen to my phone in the car. And one of the great things is the phone linked to the device by Bluetooth in seconds. It took seconds to do it. It also took seconds for it to link to my watch. They both work brilliantly together. The stand, I find this stand really, really useful. I must use this stand at least 3 or 4 times a day because when I'm doing my teeth, I'll prop it up while I'm watching YouTube. When I'm cooking and it's on the counter, I'll prop it up again, and I'll be cooking my dinner, and it works brilliantly. The case that has come with it, if you see here, I have stuck some anti-slip grip tape on the back. I know it might not look great, but for me, I find that not just this, but all mobile phones, I find that they always want to slip out my hand, and I don't want them to slip out my hand because then they'll fall on the floor and they'll smash. So I've just put a couple of strips of anti-stick tape on there, not had a problem with it whatsoever. When I put this in my pocket, I've put it in my pocket with the screen facing towards me, so that the hard shell is facing towards the outside of my pocket. So if anything hits it, the phone is going to be completely safe. Not had a single problem. I've not dropped this phone yet, so I can't tell you how durable it is when it comes to being dropped, but hopefully I never have to find out what that's like. There are some very small micro scratches on the front of this screen, but it has got a screen protector on there. So if I were to peel that off, you would have a perfectly pristine screen. And it is, I think it's a level 5 screen glass, so it's very, very strong anyway. Um, so with this, I have got some games installed. Oh, one thing I was going to say is the face unlock on this is phenomenal. Um, I have gone into a pitch black room, had the device in my hand, and the face unlock has unlocked every single time. In the pitch black, it can unlock my face. I think it's not done it once or twice, but this phone is just so easy to unlock. I did have my thumb registered, so when I picked the phone up, naturally, because that's how I would grab it, my thumb would unlock the phone. Now, I actually took this thumb as a fingerprint unlock off the phone because it was just unlocking so much, and it was so hard to then actually lock the phone because it's so efficient at doing it. In regards to the hinge, the hinge was much stiffer, but I don't really have any problems with the hinge here. The hinge can hold its position pretty much in any rotation, and then it goes into place. It still feels really strong. It still feels really good. I'm guessing at the end of a 2-year life cycle, that hinge will be a lot easier to maneuver and open and close. So for me, I've got the phone set up this way, and it just works really well. One side, I've got all my games I want to play on here, and on the other side, it will be all the apps that I use on a regular basis. When I have played games on this phone, it's been brilliant. It's been really good. I'll bring up a game for you guys now. Let's see. So I'll go for a 8-ball pool. And you get this fantastic huge screen to play 8-ball pool on. It's just wonderful. It's such a good. Can I do it back to front? Oh, there you are. Obviously, I can't really see what I'm doing. But playing games on this, it's just absolutely fantastic. I've not had any problems with any of the games. Um, it just works. When it comes to movies, again, we have some fantastic video quality. At the moment, I'm just watching this crazy documentary. Yes, sir. But you can make it larger. There were 20 witnesses. Didn't know each other. They were all reporting the same. You got a huge screen, great quality speakers. I actually like to turn it around this way if I can. But impossible, like an attorney or a cop, to follow the evidence where it goes. You can make it small if you want. It would become. I would say the internal screen, you do get fingerprints on there quite a lot, which is a little annoying. But when you're using it, it's not really a huge problem. In regards to the actual crease on the phone, you know what? It's not that much of an issue. When you're playing a game, you don't really notice it. When you're that's a risk. When you're watching something on here, it doesn't really bother you at all. It's absolutely fine. So it's very responsive. I have no problems with this phone in any way whatsoever. It does everything I want it to do. And this brings me to the cameras. Now, I've not got any photos to show you. I have taken some photos on this, and I cannot fault the photo quality that comes out of these cameras. They're all absolutely brilliant photos. They're nice, they're crisp, the colors are very true to what I see. It's a brilliant camera setup on here. The last and most probably the most important thing, the thing that I was telling you at the beginning to wait for until this point, the battery life on this phone. Guys, wow. I have never had a phone with a battery that lasts like this one does. For an example, I will fully charge this phone up the night before I go to bed before my 4-day shifts, because I do 4 days of 12-hour shifts. So I go to bed with 100% battery the night before my first shift. I get up in the morning, I have the phone on for about 20 minutes watching YouTube while I brush my hair, do my teeth, get dressed, that sort of thing. I then listen to it in the car on the way to work by Bluetooth through the radio. Then at work, I'll take it out. I'll check it 3 or 4 times throughout the day. I'll go on. I'll have a look at my messages, have a check of emails, things like that. And then at the end of the day, I'll come back. It'll be on for half an hour while watching YouTube or maybe Netflix while I'm cooking tea. And then we'll go on it again. I'll do a little bit of Googling. I'll do some looking around on eBay, some shopping. So I most probably use it for another hour when I get home. I then go to bed, get up next day and do that. And I do that for 4 days. This phone has easily gone through 3 days without a single charge after I started work. And I do the same sort of thing every single day in the 4 days I'm working. Last week I got to my 3rd day, and at the end of the 3rd day, when I sat at home on the sofa, it had 61% power left. 61% power. 3 days of light usage, 61% power. This has lasted a full 4 days and I think the most I've ever got it down to is about 36% in 4 days. I've not had to charge this phone for an entire 4 days with my general usage when I'm at work on a 12-hour shift, which is phenomenal. And I'll be using it. I'll make calls on it as well, so I most probably have about half an hour worth of calls in it every day. So that's half an hour calls every day, about 2 hours worth of video YouTubing, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of video YouTubing, and then about an hour worth of going on the internet, looking at socials, TikTok, YouTube, things like that. 3 to 4 days battery life. Wow. Unbelievable. Somebody asked me about what's it like with WhatsApp and messages. I have noticed on the odd occasion the WhatsApp message or the text message hasn't come through until I've actually picked my phone up and looked, and then they've come through. But it's never bothered me. It's never that long after I pick up. If I get a message, I usually pick my phone up within about half an hour of the message coming through, so it's not bothered us. Phone calls, absolutely fantastic. It has got a spam filter, and it is very sensitive. I've had to really turn that down because it was just blocking everything when it came to phone calls and that sort of stuff. So it's a little bit eager to block stuff, but other than that, I can't fault this phone. This phone could possibly be one of the best phones I've ever had. It's better than the S23 Ultra. It's better than a Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro. This phone just holds so much that I love. The fact that it's ludicrously thin. It's just like having an S23 Ultra in my pocket. The only difference between this phone and the S23 Ultra in physical size is obviously the camera bump is different. The camera quality is just as good as the S23 Ultra. The S23 Ultra speakers were slightly better with a little bit more bass and fractionally louder. But also the S23 Ultra was about that much longer. So it's about a centimeter longer than this phone, but basically the same width. But I like the fact that this is 1 centimeter shorter. It feels nicer. This phone is so easy to carry around. It's so easy to hold on a day-to-day basis. I can't explain how much I love this phone. It's a brilliant phone. And honestly, guys, I'm so glad I've got this phone. And after a whole month of using it as my daily driver, I haven't really got anything bad to say about it. It's brilliant. It's really good. So I hope you liked the review after 1 month of having the Honor Magic V3. If you have any questions, please put them down the bottom. I will do my very best to answer them. But I'll see you all in the next video.